for Weaver. You have you're naturally tanky, so you can deal with Techie's mines. You are a blind pick, so you don't know what your matchup's going to be. But Kunkka does well in vast majority of matchups. And I think it's going to be hard for Virtus.Pro to find a hero that counters both Kunkka and PL in one pick. You could maybe ban Timber and do it. Or they're going to ban Alchemist, that's also a good hero against PL. Scared of VP turtling with their techies and just farming up Alk with Weaver Axe. Don't know if they could have pulled that off, but playing it safe.
Okay, yeah, I like that ban.
Still liking the Kunkka, though.
I guess they do have 30 seconds reserved.
10 seconds remaining.
Time to pawn. Who else is good against PL? Any Mjolnir carrier, Radiance carrier. I mean, there's a lot of heroes in theory. You're talking about items, and it will be the Kunkka, so the safest pick.
Yeah. I think.
Okay, so who is good against Kunkka then?
The primary hero that comes to mind for me that's good against Kunkka and PL is Timber, but he's terrible against Bat. So that's probably Timber's worst matchup in Dota is Batrider. So you don't really want to pick that one. You have a lot of time on VP though, so you can think about this. Who else is good against Kunkka? Monkey King is pretty good here. Bad against Batrider though.
Is that your main concern? Your mid lane matchup versus the PL late game instead? Like what?
You need to round up your lineup in a way so that you feel like you can get out of lanes and also counter PL. Because getting out of lanes, in my opinion, is not good enough. The PL will win this game if you don't sort it out. And that means you need a hero that can lane against your expected laning opponents, can scale and beat PL. It's hard to find a hero that can lane against Bat and Kunkka, and they feel really safe here, Flytomoon, I think, because whatever goes mid, they can just place the one they want there. They don't need Kunkka to be mid here. He can side lane against these heroes. I'm pretty sure about that. If they put Kunkka with Jakiro, he can lane against even something like Weaver Tusk. It's all about having Jakiro against Tusk, and then I think their side lanes will be fine.
How's Dragon Knight? He could, in theory, buy Mjolnir. He's not the greatest
decent.
Deal, but mid lane.
He hates Bat though. That's terrible matchup in mid. What can they even get?
Tough one. Tell that they're struggling with this as well. A Leshrac, wow-wee. So that is good against PL illusions.
Yeah, it's a PL.
No one has played
solution.
this hero quite a bit.
It can lane against Kunkka. I think it's a good middle way. I think they had to get a little bit creative there and pick something unusual. Even if Batrider goes mid now, I feel like Leshrac fares better than a lot of heroes in this matchup. It's not amazing by any means, but you will always have the Edict. So if Bat starts diving you and you have level 2 Edict, he actually has to yield pretty quickly. So you can play around that. And if it's Kunkka against Lesh, I feel like maybe slightly Kunkka favored, but you can't have it all here. It's very difficult to find the solution.
I mean, he can push the wave and just get out of the lane as fast as possible and go.
I'm still just not sold by this VP draft in this meta, man. I gotta be honest. I think it has certain elements that I really like, but I just don't see the unity here in the strategy.
Well, they do.
Lesh was a very good solution, though. I will give them that. Like it's won me over a little bit, but I'm still worried.
They have a lot of aggression, right, with Techie's Tusk. They have Tower Push with, in theory, Techies, and of course Leshrac, which is more consistent. But I'm not sure how the laning stage is going to go. So you would pick, in terms of lineups, Flytomoon.
Yeah, and I'll pick them with the teams as well. They also looked better in game 1. So.
Yes.
And they were also the favorite going in, really, into the series. You have to consider them the favorites based on recent results. It's hard not to think they're favorites. And then it was just a matter of how much did the last series matter. But it seems like Flytomoon, at least in game 1, were not fazed by the loss they had earlier against Nigma.
I mean, one thing is very clear, though, with Solo is one of those guys where he has a lot of experience. I wouldn't put him on puppy level in terms of being just super stubborn with picks, even if it's not working, but they obviously believe in techies. They have yet to win, from what I've seen, at least against this team. They're 0-2 with techies and 0-3 overall tournament. They can turn it around. Vtoon will be playing Phantom Lance. Prize there. So it's going to be Phantom Lancer Jakiro versus Techies Tusk. So this used to be a tried and true combo, Cinder, with the old Suicide Squad, because you could instantly just suicide out of the roll. In fact, I believe we may have seen that in the first Techies game ever, which I actually...
That's the game I was referencing. Oh,
it was. Okay.
Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, the first, for me it was, I think that was the first official match with, like, that wasn't a show match. It was in a tournament game. That was indeed Techies Tusk that Secret ran that game, and Zai was playing Tusk, and the Techies was Kuroki, I think, back then.
Yes, in the All-Star match, it was Arteezy playing. I don't even think he played Dota 1, but tried his
I don't
best.
think he played Techies before that ever.
Yes,
so yeah.
Exactly. How does Position 3 Tusk work these days? How does it scale? What do you buy? He has a Necro book lined up right now.
Interesting. I would say you probably take an aura approach most of the time.
I see the blast up already used on Jakiro in the top lane. But only on one hero, Resolution. Takes a dual breath. Well, I think the better exchange in terms of damage is definitely on Flytomoon, at least at the current state.
Yep.
So, as this lane... I mean, this lane as a whole, what do you think of the dynamics?
I think the Dire should just be farming here. Techies can blast off and be annoying, but as long as Jakiro gets dual breath plus liquid fire on the Tusk, they're not gonna kill. And PL will be super safe. He will be able to doppelganger the Techie silence, and he will just farm by having better base damage than the enemy team and a Quelling Blade. So I kind of just expect PL's just coming out of this lane ahead of the Tusk. I don't see any threat here unless they mess up. This is
Sun
good.
kill potential. Blast off onto 2 heroes. He's going to take a little tower from the... or a little damage from the tower. As First Blood will actually be in the mid lane. No one. We didn't really talk about this. Playing the Lesh.
Talk about pre-game.
What's that?
We did mention it pre-game, the Leshrak's ability to deal with getting tower dove, right? With Edict, and that's exactly what happened. Bat went too deep. He had 6 stacks on no one in the end there and thought he could kill him, but no one with the Edict got the job done. And that's big. Like, I really think VP need Leshrak to have a good start. He has a lot to do in this game.
Did no one have the Sunken Relic applied last game? I don't notice it.
I think he did.
Games, though.
He was TA. I think
wonder how much the Org purchased that one for. Thoughts? $1,000?
Might have been a gift.
Quite the gift. Zayak, top lane. Trying to help Resolution out as much as he can. Blastoff is available. Still level 1 stage. Alright, we've talked about every lane except for the bottom. So, Solo's Enchantress and ILTW's Weaver, Punka Iceberg, and Aloha Dancer Rubik. Some aggression here. The deny top, another Blastoff looks like.
I think theoretically this is VP's strongest lane on paper against their position. Ench gets a good creep. She goes and bullies away the Rubik, and then it's Kunkka and Weaver fighting it out, and Ench can obviously switch around. It's gonna get either a mana burn or a shockwave here. Both are really good in this lane. Gonna take the shockwave.
Yeah, Aloha
He might even kill here.
Getting very low. Fade Bolt to come out. Mitigates some damage. And look at the early CS. Vtoon with 17 and 7 versus the 14 and 5. So Flytomoon with a very slight advantage in that department. But really the mid lane is the story.
Consider the... Oh, they might get a kill top here. Nicely done. Shards into Blastoff. Vtoon trying to fight back. Not successful. Alright. Maybe this VP lane can... he's gonna be fine. They needed that too. Like, Vtoon is owning this lane. He's 17 and 7 against 7 and 1.
Oh, the courier might get sniped. It's going to require 3 right clicks from Zayak, though. He'll get it. Vtoon finally getting some support with Always Want to Fly TPing in. Zayak will have blast off in about 6 seconds, but the salve has already been applied. General just going at it again. Going for this rune. Like General did take the arcane though. He has 2 bottles inventory. Love to see that someday. Resolution taking more damage top, so there is kill potential in the top lane, and we saw it. Do you think that mid lane? I have to look at this first. Flame break. Oh my god, so much damage being applied by General.
Oh,
That
top lane Vtoon.
Very easy kill. Top lane Zayak on the run. The dual breath should ensure that he will die. So 3 kills across the board, across the map for Flytomoon. Really well done. So now they will attempt to go for bounties. 5-minute mark approaches, or commences. PL. Looks like he ends up dying actually in the top lane.
Didn't he suicided, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
He just died to the wave to get a free refill before the enemy team showed up. So, that's fair enough. They got a double kill before that.
Blast off is available. The Ice Shards will keep him in place, and the silence actually stops the cast.
Fairy Fire
For Jakiro into the roll.
Yeah.
Rezo does not.
This is a cool pairing because you can shard block off and guarantee that the mine goes off, right? Like, even if Jakiro, even playing that perfectly, you're gonna take lethal damage. But if PL is there, there's probably going to be some sort of a trade, but he had to TP in first, and Jakiro was a little bit damaged beforehand. I think Always Wanna Fly would love to get a raindrop right now. It's probably the difference between life and death in a lot of situations in this lane, but he can't afford it. He bought a stick. Blast off.
Again with the Ice Shard.
Vtoon is strong. Not that strong.
Did get quite low. Any further dual breath onto Zayak though. Spirit Lance is available, still only level 1 of course. Not able to really secure himself a kill. There's a lot of salves used in this lane. A lot of regen in general. Looking at the early net worth though. PL is top of the net worth overall. Decent lead actually.
Yep.
But I believe Weaver will be... he actually gets torrented in the bot lane and extra damage from Iceberg. So this has turned into essentially a 1v1 for now, as Enchantress obviously going back and forth. And again,
this top lane is
we
not
move
looking
away,
good for VP.
Resolution now on the run. There is a mine. We're going to take it out very easily. Snowball does connect, and there is TP support from Solo, and no one has come to play as well. Looks like they have their sights set on Vtoon, though. Ice Shards actually pushes him forward. He's going to attempt to TP out.
No way.
And he will be successful.
Oh, that one hurts for VP, man. They rotated so much for that, and they got nothing. And that looked like a guaranteed PL death. They clearly overextended diving that into the tower and the mines. And the Doppelganger kind of failed too. V2 and Doppelganger forward instead of backward. If he put Doppelgangers back to his Jakiro, they probably just kill the Tusk there. Well, it still worked out. They got a rotation out of it. Mid tower's taking some damage. Lesh wasted a lot of time. Ench TP'd.
Batrider and no one. Going at it quite a bit. No one has very little mana to speak of now, so basically no more Pulse Nova. We'll get a couple more creeps as a result. Top lane, again, more action. Rezo, very low, trying to find cover in the mines. It's one mine, particularly.
It's an Observer Ward.
Too much. Oh my god, you're right. That looks like a techie's mine. At first glance, at least. So low. Cosmetics have gone too far. As Solo,
you love it.
Solo down by General. It's fine. I mean, I don't know why he's not wearing the elephant suit. Techies, that's the best cosmetic by far.
Oh, they're going to try for V2 here?
Yeah, there's the silence coming out along with the extra damage. No one showing himself. And he will get the kill. Nice rotation this time.
6-second silence. That's massive.
Edict level 4 now. We'll easily be able to take this tower if uncontested, but I continue to TP in. Bot lane, we're going to see extra damage onto Iceberg now. This has turned into a 2v1. Torrent looks like it will not connect as Jakiro takes a spill in the top lane.
Radiant's bottom
Action
tower
all
is
over
under
the place.
attack.
Both Batrider and the Jakiro die. Iceberg is going to be dove by LTW. And this should be a... Ooh, wait. Oh, he's actually completely diving. Very
Oh my
deep.
God.
The torrent will connect, and the time lapse keeps him safe. But very nice play from Iceberg. Oh man.
The Giga play there is to X mark him before he time lapses back, and then you pull him back to the tower again. But he probably won't die for that. It's like, it's super high risk and no kill. So I would have loved to see that though. That would have been awesome. Anyway, bounty rune and outpost time. Zayas hiding in the trees.
Yes,
They didn't find. Oh, they're pinging.
Oh.
Yeah, he could soul ring. It's too late.
He has one mine, not to be confused with a ward. Still be de-mined.
Dire's middle tower.
No one looks like. Oh, he was gonna go for Boots of Travel on the Lash, but has changed it up to a Yule's. So I'm guessing that the Boots of Travel, if he's doing super well in lane, would be the right purchase. But
yeah, he's died
Still
twice
not that
on
well.
rotations. But the Yules is really, really good here, obviously. It's a way of dealing with X-Torrent combo. It's a way of dealing with Batrider. He's identifying that this Batrider is a thorn in his side, and it's a big problem that he has to solve. Prioritizing that over travels, I think, is a good idea.
Swarm onto Iceberg. He does have a TP available. He's going to get blast off. The boat comes in, will connect onto the techies. The mine explodes. We have some rotation now from both respective teams. Looks like the techies is going to be the first to fall. The boat buff doing so much work, and Solo looks to be the second. Flytomoon, a great turnaround, which looked like a pretty easy kill onto stronger than
That was actually insane spellcasting from Iceberg. He precast the ship plus Torrent right where the techies landed with the blast off. That was super good.
mid lane. We might see some action. No one. Spidey senses are tingling though. They won't find him, at least not yet. General still working on his Boots of Travel for the Batrider. Iceberg is... He's actually going Halberd first, straight off the bat. So, not going for any type of Radiance build-up, or... I haven't really seen Radiance lately. And that... Not sure if you're surprised by that or not.
I wonder what he wants the Halberd for. It's not a clear-cut Halberd game. You're not against like something like Slark or... Yeah, it's okay against Weaver, but... It's still just a solid item, right? Like we've talked about. The stats on it, everything it does, it adds up. It's not the best Halberd active game, but the passive component is still amazing. Probably a comfort thing as well. Maybe he considers it good value against tag team. I don't know. Perhaps you get both the evasion and the disarm for the tag team place. But obviously against a hero like Leshrac, it's kind of irrelevant to have the disarm.
Well, no one is very close to his Yules, at the very least. And again, I ask, with the techies, I'm guessing you want to be ultra aggressive. Map control is extremely important, but you still need the items on no one to set things up. And
yeah, you do.
having even just the Yules into Split Earth is extremely important for that hero. Resolution did finish his Necro once. So is this one of those just farming Necros? He's not going to upgrade this any further, at least not anytime soon.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Like, how's his mana capacity? Because it's 150 to cast this.
Gives 3 mana regen to the item itself.
Telekinesis with General TPing into the lasso, and this is going to be an easy kill into Rezo. Always Wanna Fly is going to pop the Macro Pyre mid just to dissuade Solo from sticking around any further, pushing the waves in as well.
What do you think? So my classic quiz question is coming up right now. 1k lead for Flytomoon. What do you think the win expectancy is from Dota Plus in this game?
Against this lineup, 65%.
88 to
Yules
12 for
into
Dire.
Split Earth. Boat is coming to save the day, but it's not going to be enough. His techies blows up the Jakir. Looks like it's going to be a trade, a 1-for-1 of sorts. He does get another mine down, though. No one on the run. There's more mines to follow, but you can see the pinging being very frantic from Flytomoon. They know that they're trying to lead them into a trap, but it's a 2-for-1 either way for VP's favor. And the ice block, or the ice shards blocking in Iceberg. That's a lot of ice That's for sure. And he's dead. So 3 for 1.
All right.
Not sure if you can get this tier 1 tower, but they do have Edict up in 10 seconds.
It is so important to get team fights around Leshrac right now. I really do feel like that is the way VP has to play the game right now. And they managed to execute a nice one there. I'm not sure if you caught what I said before, but the prognosis of the game was 88% win chance for Dire.
Yeah, that is quite high.
But, you know, that's... It's this kind of plays that doesn't make it 100. The Radiant are already making some good adjustments there. Putting the Yule to immediate use on no one to find a good fight. He now is level 11. I believe that's the highest on the field, together with Bat.
Okay.
And they would love to get this mid tower. I think that's the goal for VP. I don't know if you get a cheeky kill here.
Yeah. To get the bounty and set up the stun. General's super dead.
Nice kill.
I do have to ask. So Iceberg, so he had the halberd queued up. He actually went for Necro 1. Talk to me about this.
Another way of finding Techie's lines?
So you think he's upgraded it then?
It's not a secret that this item is really good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not good. I personally haven't seen it on Kunkka.
They might... There's a couple of reasons here. One, the Last Will is really good against Leshrac, because he does uncontrollable damage, so they might just end up killing Necrobooks during the fights and die. It gives them a way of running into high ground into mines.
Oh, the
that might be it.
But here comes Techies. There's a little bit of residual damage. It's not enough, and in fact might cost him his life. The nice Ice Shards from Resolution at least keep him at bay. Potentially keep his teammates alive, but it is a sacrifice.
X mark.
LTW.
Oh, he didn't X. He could have X'd LTW there, I think. Maybe he lost vision. Oh, they get a bigger kill.
No one will be a
This is a big one.
Boat comes in, and down goes your goat. Literal goat. So no one... Yeah, it was a bit out of position there, for sure.
Yeah, flat out. And he wanted the rune, right?
Was it worth it, Sin?
That's a no. It's a no from me, dog.
Tier 1 tower at half HP right now. For each team, actually. Very even in the Tier 1 tower department. So, General, we haven't really talked about him. Obviously started in the mid lane, has the boots of travel, and working towards a Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Obviously not huge surprises either way. Probably go for Force Staff or something to value this game. It's another Macropyre. I always want to fly just spamming this Macropyre mid lane.
Well, cutting this path of trees is setting up for them to push it later, because then they feel safer against Techie's mines. Actually, pretty nice play here to give control. Like, the Techie's matchup is all about that vision and knowledge in the game, and they're preparing for later. It's not that long of a cooldown. It might seem like a huge waste, but it's 60 seconds. He's already halfway to having it again. And like you said, the Batrider Blink coming up in 2 minutes, or less, probably 1 minute, might be what they want to try to make this mid play. To get that tower.
He's gonna get X in the enemy jungle, trying to de-ward as much as he can, and he is mega dead. And they will still de-ward everything. Looks like VP still want to fight. Solo has put himself in a precarious spot, but looks like there's gonna be a full team fight.
No one
is completely destroyed as this fight just begins, and there's the lasso now into Resolution. All he has is Ice Shards. That is a 3 for 1. If you count the Techie's death, which started it all. So yeah. Flytomoon will be very happy with that exchange.
Oh, is there going to be an X mark here? Yes, there is.
Solo, we're seeing the Diffusal Blade being used to full effect. So that's a 1 for 4, and likely the Tier 1 tower as well. How weird that they wanted to continue to fight even though Techie's was dead.
Yeah, I don't really know what the plan was there. Especially, the moment no one uses Yules offensively, I think he just dies. He's playing Lesh without a save in his team, except you have 1 snowball, but he wasn't in position to save. Like, it's so easy. And it's gonna get even easier now with this Bat Blink. I think his job every fight is jump and lasso Lesh, and if he dies, the fight is just feels stable. The damage is not threatening from VP yet. Oh, they see Resolution. No lasso, or he would have died there for sure.
Yeah, both Rezo and Iceberg are upgrading their Necros to... Good way for Rezo to push the farm as well. And Kunkka doesn't really need help in the farm department, as X marks will be completely nullified by the snowball, but at the same time, Rezo is in enemy territory and looks to be very, very dead indeed. And that finishes the Necro 3 for Iceberg, in fact. They're going to smoke up immediately, looking for another high-value kill. All they see is an Enchantress right now, but they do ping, and they have a ward showing no one, and it's very glorious cosmetics. Link into Lasso, and another death for no one, who has died 5. He actually does have 7 kills, surprisingly, but he is 7 and 5.
Oh, they're just falling apart. It's finding extra kills.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still here, but that's going to be an easy cleanup for Flytomoon. They still have this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I guess at the very least this gave them some bounty runes, because he drew the attention to mid, and that meant Weaver could get the 2 bottom ones. So they make it a 2-2 split instead of what could have been like even 4-0. So I suppose in that sense it's not the worst death.
Is there any way to know for sure? I think this proximity mine by the tier 1 mid for Flytomoon, I believe that's the Rubik's.
Yep, it is.
Close to the tower, I do believe.
The health bar's red.
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of techies, he will get his first explosion kill across the map.
He just got, I think, 2 levels from that. He is now level 12, which is tied with his
looks
tusk.
like we might have a fight. Iceberg casts his... Oh, there's the techies coming in as well. But he's completely surrounded. The buyback onto the Bat Rider, though, and Kunkka is still living through all this. That buff is crazy good. No one. Nice job using during the X marks Torrent combo, but he's still taking the brunt of the damage here, Cinder. And that looks to be his 6th death, as Rezo looks to be next. And they just don't have much answer here for Flytomoon's heroes. And there's the lasso, so the buyback will be worth it, as Solo finds his way to the grave again. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't, as much as I want techies to be successful in some regard because it's fun to watch, and it's not like I haven't felt his presence, it just doesn't feel like it's consistent enough to be helpful as a pick overall, you know. Like the laning phase, you can get a bunch of kills with Blast Off, but then now we're at mid-game. Occasionally he'll get an big explosion kill, but we haven't really seen it used. I don't know. It also doesn't feel that great.
It doesn't really feel like VPF strategized around the hero too well in either draft either, to be honest. Like, I'm a bit confused about what the goal is in this game with their lineup. Like, what's the value in first picking techies to build this lineup? What does he offer that another hero couldn't have done here that makes this lineup amazing? Apart from just, you know, player preference and the team loving to play with the hero, are you building the rest of your lineup in accordance with techies?
Oh, he just blew up a shit ton of mines by Iceberg, and this will likely lead to a kill.
Alright, big kill. Oh my god.
Fortunate that he was in that area. How did techies die?
Rubik TP down and Fate bolted him. He was solo. So it's a 1-for-1.
I'll take that trade easily.
Of course.
Into the Walrus Punch, but it feels like Rezo just doesn't have much he can do in these. Jakiro just feels so freaking good if he can set up the ice path. Of course, PL against pretty much any melee hero just feels incredible. So, looking at VP's perspective, has it come down to just trying to turtle with techies? Is that ever like one of those things where you're like, okay, we're not doing too hot right now, maybe we should just play the pub techie style?
Does that feel like a winning strategy in this game? Because if it doesn't, then you are doing plan B, which is not a good plan if you don't think it's going to win you the game. Like, you have a Leshrac against the PL, but that's all you have. Like, he's gonna be an absolute monster if Lesh dies, and there will be a farmed Batrider and a farmed Kunkka on the enemy side to catch you all the time. When you're going around farming the map, I think it's extremely difficult as Leshrac in this game to not die while pushing waves. Any good smoke with X or Lasso just kills you.
Oh boy.
Oh, they scanned them. They scanned them at Roche. This is real bad.
The desperate attempt, a good attempt I would say, but the jump in by the Bat Rider onto Weaver. Ice Path just connects into the torrent, and he's dead immediately. Here comes the boat, and VP have lost 3. I mean, that's a really risky play, but we say this all the time. If you're behind, take some risks. And if they had gotten it, would have been amazing, but it was a disaster.
They got a mid-tier 1. No one didn't join the fight. He pushed the wave instead. Got something out of it.
That ain't great. Get caught off. General, he does see him.
Oh,
and
no.
there's the telekinesis to cancel the TP, so they're not going to get the Roche and 3 kills. They're going to get a 4th in Lesh. Just a disastrous game for VP.
They might also lose all 4 bounties. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is...
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, Techie's about 400 away from finishing his Aghanim Scepter, so it feels like it's a requirement on this hero, right? And it's different from as he's going to kill onto Rubik.
There it is. That's his axe.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, that's the thing about this Ags in particular. I feel like there's some in the game where you don't have to get, like, it doesn't feel like a requirement on heroes, right? And I know that you've talked about this in the past where you don't like the design when it's required, but for Techies, I feel like it is required. And that's when he can start. I mean, not that he wasn't useful in some regard this game. It helps him so much.
It does a lot. Yeah.
I'd be interested to know how many games of Techies have been played without an Aghanim Scepter that people have won. Probably not great. Mines were exploded and Iceberg just shrug it off. Is he going for an Aghanim Scepter?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to see the Torrent Storm come into play. I love it. Did he get the proper talents? Did he prepare? 100 Torrent damage at 15, and he will go for the 80 Torrent AoE, likely, at 20. It's a lot of fun. See, that's a fun one. And I think it's good depending on the game.
Radiant are scattered.
We haven't really talked about ILTW too much, but we talked about how he would probably go Mjolnir this game, but went Maelstrom first and decided they needed a BKB before finishing.
Yeah, he's getting crushed by stuns. He gets caught by 1X, 1 Lasso, or 1 Rubik Lift and he dies. Once again, the problem of not playing with a save. The snowball's just not reliable as a save this game. You can't truly count it as it because it's almost impossible for Tusk to be in a position, and even if he saves the Weaver, he dies for it every time. So it's not great either way. So I don't mind him stopping for a BKB and now going Mjolnir. It's just the curve is kind of gone in the game, right?
Yeah.
All you're hoping for now is some massive fight from Techies. No one's gonna die bot again. Yoling himself is just gonna get ice pathed out of that.
And resigned to his death at this point. There are quite a few mines here in the mid lane, and by that I just mean 2. Not that many. And V-Tune will try to go for the tier 3. The buyback onto the no one is here now. And they're going to try to fight. The boat coming in does connect on no one, so it'll be a dieback. A nice jump in from Zayak. As Kunkka looks like he's going to fall. It'll be a trade for Techies, well, and the buyback, I suppose. But at this stage, I feel like VP, if they can get away with just that, then they'll take it. But Resolution needs some trouble here. Ball was there, but looks like he'll live. V2 still has the Aegis, of course. Extremely tanky with now the Reaver, so obviously going for the heart. Similar to the last game against the Techies. Of course, the Hood just doing so much for him.
Dire's top tower is
And V-Tune,
under attack.
or ILTW, I should say, on the Weaver is really intent on finishing this Mew. That's probably the item they feel like they really take the next step. Although the next step might be a baby step, you know.
He could sell 1 Wraithband or the bottle if he wanted to. Although, assuming he uses his dust, he does have enough space for all the items. So he's just waiting for now.
300 gold, 350 away. Not sure if he'll have time. taking out this wave and probably... His TP is down, so... I'm not sure if Flytomoon know this. It's like... Solo is going to take a lot of damage from Virtus, who just wants to use his Aegis at this point, most likely. And Flame Break will put Solo in a horrendous spot. We have yet to see the Torrent Storm yet, but it hasn't really been a team fight.
It's been used once, right?
Okay.
The fight mid that broke out on the Conca plus PL. I think he had it there, I'm pretty sure.
I think no one is trying to cut the wave, so that implies that VP does not want to fight, but they might not have a choice. That is now a double kill for Vtoon. Resolution put in a horrific spot as the Aegis is consumed. Doesn't really get the value in terms of the full heal, but either way they will get the better racks, or at least the melee for now. No one. General in the top lane. This is such a disaster game for no one. The bounty rune was taken. Nothing he can do. That was the 10-second BKB for General. So, a free racks for all intents and purposes. But not sure there's really much choice.
It's not going to get easier. Now PL has a heart. I don't know if... I mean, they're getting a Mjolnir, so at least they have that, but... I don't really see them killing this guy right now. Like, Heart, Hood, Manta, 3.3k health.
Yeah,
if anything does it, it's these mines, but... They're just gonna... Is there a sign there?
No. I'm not sure where
there's no sign,
but it's been on cooldown for a long time, so it's 70 seconds left.
Okay.
Telekinesis into the ice path. This could be the death of Techie's Torrent to follow. Really good layering from Flytomoon. They're just going to dive the tower. The buyback out of the Techies now. The boat coming in will connect onto the Enchantress. So that's another death, or another buyback for him now. Torrent Storm, there we go. Doing decent work at creating some space. Resolution getting extremely low, but there's the lasso, and this time it's on Weaver. You didn't even get to see the Mjolnir active at all. The static shards, and this should be GG, as Flytomoon is just doing whatever the hell they want in the base of VP. Buyback, so Resolution just got that buyback, did not have it initially. Torrent onto two heroes. And that is a dieback now on Enchantress as the GGs come out. VP completely crushed in game 2 as Flytomoon will knock him out.
Yep. This series just looked easy. It looked like a total class difference. Flytomoon are obviously super hot right now, and VP are pretty much cold. Favored Flytomoon's I don't know, I feel like the hero deserves a lot of attention just because no matter which team it's on, it dictates the flow of the game entirely. It's kind of like when there's an alchemist in the game, right? Where now there's an alch, so now you have to play like this or that because you can't just let him free farm, or you need to at least have very good solutions. With Techies, it's the same. Like, both teams adjust their playstyle, and Flytomoon just seem very adept at playing against that hero. Like, they made it look so easy. They didn't make massive mistakes. Sure, he got a couple kills here or there on mines, but that's to be expected. Like, it's hard to go deathless against this hero, but it was never high impact